And welcome to another episode of DIOTALK. I'm Dio. Let's talk. My guest of the evening is multi-talented, very informative, highly intellectual. Jersey City's very own. He's a community advocate, uh, sharing very important information on his social medias, on his platform to try to educate the public of Jersey City. He's a protector. We have to protect him, ladies and gentlemen. Good welcome to Seven Alkaline. Welcome to the show, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I can't complain. I'm very excited to be here, and I've been waiting for this day. I'm not gonna lie, I've been waiting for this day. It's just, it's exciting when you get to just yap,
Yeah, I
somebody
feel
yapping
that,
back
man.
with you. I'm a
I feel that. I feel that
yapper.
100%.
You see the videos. I don't know how to
Yes.
shut up.
I mean, but like when you're speaking so much truth, how can you shut up? I was reading this book of The White Knight by was it Dostoevsky? And he said, how can you stay silent when your heart is speaking? And when I hear you speak and when I see your video, I've been following for quite some time. The message, the information, right? Like especially what struck me is that you're so young, right? And you're ahead of the grain of a lot of young individuals. They're especially in Jersey, they're not focused on taking care of their surroundings. And that's like what inspired me to reach out because the video that I really gravitated is it's when you were talking about autism. Now, I'm an advocate of autism. Obviously, everybody know. I during the day I work at a school with autism. Afternoon I work as a what's you call this therapist in autism. I also come home with a child autism. Everything's autism, and I've been fighting. I've been fighting to inform and find people and unite, and no one seems to reach out. Nobody or reach in. Nobody's doing anything. And when I saw you speak and just spit hot fire, right? Speak truth of what's really going on. It was inspiring. It was like I felt like finally I have somebody that's talking about something important other than myself, right? So once again, it's an honor having you here on the show. I highly appreciate you for coming on the show, and the floor is yours, my friend.
Listen, you just set the mood, right? So I want to talk about that. The problem with that a lot of times is, I see so many parents advocating for children with autism in Jersey City public schools, but the problem is nobody cares unless it's their child.
Mm,
So it's a bit of selfishness uh, coming from other people. People only want you to help them out when it benefits them. I think a lot of people, older, young, I don't care what party you are, what you look like, you gotta stand up for what's right for your neighbor. Uh, me, I grew up, I had a very, very weird upbringing, right? So I spent a lot of time with my aunt. My aunt had an autistic daughter. That's where I learned so much. People don't understand how difficult it is for parents who have children with autism. And then you have to deal with bringing your child to school knowing that they're not properly being taken care of is
mm,
it's a lot to it, and especially especially the spectrum. They can be lower or higher on the spectrum, and that's just how much more difficult it gets. It teaches you so much patience. You see a parent's love to a whole different level, and nobody knows. People on the street quick to judge, and
mm.
I swear, they really don't know. They
Yeah.
really do not know. It's a lot, and we have to look out for them because it can be your kid. You can have a child with autism, and you just don't know. You just don't know. And it's upsetting to know that that could be the moment that somebody cares. You can't be upset with everybody because that's more natural, for somebody to care about something within them when it's affecting them. But have a bit more heart, have a bit more
Hmm.
heart for these people. It's definitely a struggle. Uh and a lot of things that I see happening with people who have autism don't sit right with me. It has never sat right with me, and it won't ever will. I get upset with myself sometimes. What I'm doing now is things that I've been thinking about doing for years now, not to toot my own horn, but like you said, I'm very young, and this is a mindset I've had since I was probably like 12 years old. This has been a grind for years, learning, trying to figure out what to do. I've been attacking this from like my brain is like overload. I've been trying to figure out how to attack so many things. And I'm so happy that I decided to just run my mouth on social media to bring light to certain issues. It's just so much going on, and I spoke about uh, children with autism in Jersey City public schools. And I don't want to be somebody that just runs my mouth. I want action behind the words. But first steps is words, and you have to kind of look at social media differently. Uh, a lot of people like me for social media. A lot of people want to use me for my social media, and a lot of people are afraid of my social media. So you have the likability factor. What can I get out of it? And this guy can potentially destroy me. Uh, So me putting things about autism out there, some people look at it as, oh wow, I'm really happy he's speaking about it. How can I benefit off of this? Which is people who should benefit off of this, which is parents with children with autism. And then it's the people, oh, he's speaking about against the corrupt stuff we do. He can destroy me. And you kind of have to look at the power of
Mm.
that and use that power to put stuff like that out there. And it's just so many parents fighting too. I reached out to them and asked them, what can I do? I don't want to just run my mouth, but that's the first step. Knowing the power of social media. I gotta run my mouth and then I have to have action behind it. I've never wanted to be somebody who just done this with no action. I'm running my mouth and I have a lot of things going on behind the scenes that I can't wait to get done, things that I already have done and things that I will do. It's just a lot. It's a lot, man.
I feel you, man, and thank you for your efforts, and thank you for sharing because I know sometimes just being a person living in that atmosphere with children with autism, you know, it's like secondhand smoke. It affects you in one way or the other. Especially when you see so much unfairness, so much injustice, so much people that judge, and they're judging not, you know, they're not judging because they want to. They're judging because they're not them. They're
Hmm.
not stuck in that situation. So they don't really care, in the
Yeah.
sense of the word. They don't care. Like for my situation, I'm going, or going to make 2 years almost litigation with the public school system of Jersey City. Now, I've received a lot of backlash, my wife and I, because we chose to keep him home,
Hmm.
and me and mom have been just homeschooling, resources, these apps, whatever they have, and help our son because we felt that, like, you have parents that have no other choice than put them in the system, right? Have no support, it's just them, right? I get that. But then you have parents that are just being guided and guided by the system that, for me, what I've learned is like it's just a financial gain for them, you know? And me and my wife sat down, was like, yeah, we could do this, but like why do we have to? We don't have to, you know?
Hmm.
So, we finally settled. They finally gave him the tools after 2 years um, to help him. But yeah, the inconsistency in the ecosystem of the structure, you know, it, it's not consistent.
Yeah.
So, they offers until he gets to schooling, he offers speech. I guess that's the only person who's been consistent, right? OT at home, not consistent. There's supposed to be a teacher. I can't remember his exact name. Come to school, inconsistent.
Hmm.
Today was the first actual day that somebody showed up after at least a 2-month settlement,
Yeah.
right? And it's been hard, but like, I tell everyone when I tell my story, like they gave my son diagnosed, they gave me a pamphlet, right? And said good luck. It's no different than when somebody found out they have cancer.
Hmm.
And I like, I don't know it's because of my upbringing. I don't know it's because of things I've gone through in life, but I fucking took offense to that shit,
Mhm.
and to this day, I'm still fighting. I'm fucking tired, exhausted, but like, fuck it. We keep, we're gonna run this shit to what we get, what we deserve.
Listen, you should be, you should be upset. Um, what father or mother wouldn't, right? If a father or mother didn't care, then they don't care, which is sad. And you obviously care. Your wife obviously cares. The thing with these people is, it's sad to say, nobody really cares, you know, in the system about children with autism. The only time they care is when money is involved, like you said. Uh, for example, you know, let me just say it like this. People get money for having certain kinds of people in their systems. People don't know how a lot of
Mm.
this stuff structurally works. You can literally get more funding. Like you literally get paid. They give people money for having certain kinds of people, certain kinds of things, certain certifications, if you get what I'm saying. They give them more money. And that money is not properly being used for the needs of these children, which is the problem. And also what you said, the first thing you told me, that you chose to have them homeschooled. When people judge stuff like that, I mean, you kind of gotta laugh because they don't know what you're going through. Like, I don't even know sometimes what to say to people who just need to mind their damn business. Because it's always when they inside your shoes,
Mm-hmm.
oh fuck.
Yeah.
But they wind up mirroring every single move that you did because they do not know. It's a struggle. I mean, it's really a struggle for me. Listen, like I said, I don't want to keep tooting my own horn, but I don't know. I built a connection with different types of people. I have a connection with old people. I have a connection with people with autism. But sometimes, for some like weird reason, I don't know why. Uh, I've been around so many people with autism, and they draw towards me, right? It's the craziest thing ever. And the only reason I think is because of my cousin, my aunt's daughter who had autism. And I don't know, you learn how to love differently. I don't even know how to put it into words. And for some reason, I
No,
guess
I feel you.
they always feel comfortable with me when I'm around.
Yeah.
So one of my best friends is autistic, right? And they just draw to me and they feel comfortable with me. And I feel like, I gotta protect them, right? Whether they're higher on the spectrum, lower on the spectrum. And sometimes people try to mistreat them, which is a big fear I know you have as a father, because I'm a father myself. We're not always gonna be here, right?
Yeah.
And that mind, you start thinking in the back of your head, like you get nervous. What is my son gonna do when he's not here, right? When you're not here, and you kind of like I see that on the outside, when they're not with when they're not with their family, right? And they're by themselves. And I get like a sense of protection. And I build so many friendships with people who's autistic, you know. And I see people who try to mistreat them or say certain stuff. I'm like, you guys gotta chill,
Mm-hmm.
on the spectrum. And for some, it's crazy. Some people don't even know
Yeah.
when some people are autistic, but like my radar, I know because I've been
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
So even when it's super low, I know. I'm like, yo, can you chill? And it's like you said, the pamphlet thing.
Yeah.
I'm seeing so many situations in my life. They want to take advantage of people with autism. I know this is going all over the place, but I apologize. It's just,
No,
you
no,
know,
no. Don't worry about it.
yeah, I see them
Don't
try
worry
to take
about it.
advantage of people who's autistic in the workplace. And I remember telling my friend, you have to take advantage of your disability. You have to file the paperwork. You gotta that stuff like that is like, it makes me sad because I know he doesn't have nobody in his corner telling him
Mm-hmm.
this kind of things, right? You got to file that paperwork so they don't try to fire you, so they don't try to mess with you, so they don't try to bully you. Because as you know, people who are autistic, for everybody who's watching, their range of emotions is different. You guys have to understand that, right? Have a little empathy. Like their a range of emotions are not like ours. Certain
Yeah.
stuff that I can say to you that's mean, for example, you may be able to take it. Their feelings get hurt a lot more, or they may get angry. When they're happy, they may be way more happier. You have to understand that, right? So I've been a lot of people around a lot of people who's on the spectrum who get more emotional, right? They get more upset. And like, I feel like I kind of gotta be there, chill, or tell other people like,
Yeah.
come on, y'all riling him up, and you know he autistic. Like, come on. And that's where you gotta have your paperwork so they can have their jobs
Mm.
protected, so people don't try to mess with them. Because then it's
Yeah.
like, I start getting pissed off because it's like not. It's I don't know, man.
No,
You
listen,
know.
man, I feel you. And every time I have the opportunity to speak with the parents, and talk about their paperwork and whatnot, I just like, if you can, then you have the support. If you're blessed to have that, focus on creating resources for them. Sell houses, whatever, somewhere you can create income, flowing income, rather than, a lot of parents just like want them to be self-efficient and get a job, even even if they can't do that. The problem is not them, the problem is the people. And you mentioned something they have to understand is like the way the world's moving, the more things evolve, technology, money, wealth, people pick and choose what they feel the need to do, and at least for my son, like, I started this 5 years ago. I've been doing this for 5 years. I fucking took Google Coursera. I took a fucking Michigan State certification of becoming a journalist, and for the last fucking 5 years, I've been here. And my only goal was to become a person of value or credibility, just like yourself, to not show up everywhere, but when I show up, it's because it's meaningful, you know,
Yeah.
um, because it's just sometimes it's not the people out with autism, it's just the people,
Yeah.
and you're not just advocating for autism people, you're doing so many other things. Like, I
Yeah.
know there's a link, a specific link on your Instagram that, when this comes out, when you see him, the links is going to be listed below. Click the link. And I want you to share more about that.
So sexual assault awareness event, right? It's man, y'all have no idea. Listen, I got a sexual assault awareness event. Trying to get people, women and men, some supplies, some things they need, some food, drinks, have some people to speak, some officers there, a little bit of everything to try to do what I can, right? It's just a lot going on in this world, and sexual assault crimes in Jersey City is very high. And I'm not talking just about grown folks, kids as well, right? You don't understand, right? Bro, you don't understand. People get very comfortable with me, right? When people build a relationship with you and they get comfortable with you, what happens? They like to be around you. They want to do things with you. They want to go to the mall with you. Y'all get tight. Uh, and when you get so close with a person like that, they like to speak. When somebody's so comfortable with you, it's not regular talk. They like to get stuff off their chest. It's been one too many times in my life where I got close with people. I don't know. I told you I had this weird energy, and they feel comfortable enough to tell me things. And I've heard just about all the sickest things that you can think of happen to men and women that I know as a child, as a teenager, being touched on and molested for years, right? And that shit, First time I hear it, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't tell them that. That's just my head. I don't want to hear that. Second, I don't want to hear that. They keep telling me. You heard? Like I'm like fuck, talking to myself in my head. I don't want to keep hearing this shit. They keep telling me this shit. It start fucking with my head because I'm thinking about it. It didn't even happen to me. And then another person telling me, and another person telling me, and I realized my role. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, so much shit in my head I'm thinking about right now that I don't want to think about that I was told, right? And I realized my role in that. All of these people feel comfortable enough to let something out their chest that's going to help them breathe easier because they feel comfortable with you. So your role is to shut the fuck up no matter how you feel about it and listen and let them get that off their chest. Like I'm talking more than you don't understand. It's sick, sick things. I'm sorry for being repetitive, but it's like in my head right now. And I'm like, if I'm feeling like this just from hearing it, what the
Mhm.
fuck are they feeling like? What are they
You
feeling
lived,
like?
lived it, lived it, lived it. Yeah, I lived it.
And yeah, and you start to see the effects of that. You know, they start having psychological effects. Um, Whether they become some of them hypersexual, some of them is drunk all the time, some getting high all the time. Some of them don't want to be in a relationship with a man or woman. Some decide to be dating people of the opposite sex because the people of their sex because they're abusing with somebody of the opposite sex. So it's like they completely disassociate. It's just a lot. It's a lot. You know, I'm like, damn, how can I do something for these people, right? And listen, I don't have all the answers. Just because I throw an event don't mean everything just gonna stop. But I'm trying to do what I can. You know, it's a lot. I've been, ever since I've been doing this social media stuff, I did my first ever food drive. I did my first ever food drive, asked for donations, and show people proof of receipt so they know exactly where the money went. Because we don't do like certain people do. I ain't gonna say that, but right. And after I built a sense of trust with people, they started sending me more money, and I posted sexual assault awareness event, and donations started coming in, so I could throw these events for people who are suffering from this. It has to be a conversation. It's just a lot going on. I mean, parents have to be spoken to because I see a lot of stuff online where people say, "Hey, why are you attacking a victim? You need to attack the abuser." And here's how I feel about situations like that. 100% you need to attack the abuser. And I'm not saying attack the victim, but we have to sit victims down sometimes before they even become victims and make sure they don't put themselves in situations. And it's so sad I even have to say that because it shouldn't be like that. But this is the point. That's the reality. And when we say have conversations like that, it gets dangerous when you say, hey, oh, they shouldn't be looking at us like that. That's their problem. I'm like, and for example, for women, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. You should be able to go lay out at night and dress how you want. Unfortunately, we have sick people in this world, very sick people, and it's an uncomfortable conversation I had with somebody before, and I felt like a fucking piece of shit telling people reality. I'm like, yo, these people are sick. Please, I'm telling women, please, like they look for shit like this. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but you have to be careful. You have to be careful. Fuck the abuser. We're gonna come for him, but we have to speak to y'all as well. Whether you're a child, a teenager, a grown woman or man, you have to make sure you're protected. Unfortunately, we can't do stuff that we want to do regularly. You can't just go outside at night with a hood on and some in certain blocks just because you have the ability to put your hood on. Want to know why you can't? Because you don't want to put yourself in a predicament where you get mistaken for somebody else, where you looking like an easy person to rob, right? I'm not blaming a victim, but it's a point where you have to talk to the victim or before they become one. We have to do that as well. That's very important. It's like online when I see them try to catch the Preds. The predators, you want to know what I always wish they would do? I always wish they would do the opposite as well. I wish they would catch the little kids that's on there texting grown men and go home and speak to them. Or little kids that's texting grown women. Go home and speak to them and make sure it don't happen again. Because guess what? You caught one predator, there's so many much more out there. And that little girl, that little boy is still gonna be texting grown women or men on that app. We have to
Hmm.
check them as well. You think Preds just stop at one? It's a
Yeah,
shitload of them.
I think it's you mentioned a lot,
Yeah, I'm
and I want
sorry.
to.
My
No, no,
brain
no,
is.
no. It's not wrong. I want to provide a point to each one, right?
Mhm,
Like, I think the biggest thing, like, for predator or someone who causes a sexual assault, right? I don't know the statistic, right? I don't know it, but like usually it's like a person that molested another person is because he got molested, right? So like that cycle has to stop. Just because you were wrong doesn't make you can't go and do but two wrongs don't make it right. And another thing is like, at what point do we start taking accountability for ourselves?
mhm,
Like we can we can play the victim game all we want, but at what point do we take accountable ourselves? And I'm not saying that whatever happens, you did to yourself. No, I'm
yeah.
saying that in general, in life in general, it comes to a point in where you grow as a person, where you start, embracing values and how you see things as you get older. Um, you have to start taking accountability. You can't keep blaming your surroundings. It's like the apple effect, the rotten apple effect. If you take a rotten apple and put it amongst fresh apples, eventually everything gets rotten.
Mhm,
You know. Another thing is like today's modern society is social media, which is it's more in front of us than ever. Like it's becoming difficult, and we're like everything's a prank.
mhm,
Like catch a predator, like you said. There's been real interested instance in is that these kids are requiring wolf and setting people up. And if they catch a predator, great. But let's talk about the other dark side of it. It's like these kids are just doing pranks, losing respect, losing values, just trying to be the next Jake Paul or Logan Paul, doing stupid shit on YouTube
mhm,
or doing pranks on YouTube or whatever social media to get more views, get money, whatever. Like that's that's affecting our social norms as well.
mhm,
So it's not just having the bad people doing bad shit. It's also having dumb people doing dumb shit as well.
mhm.
You
Eh,
know?
Yeah, and to piggyback off what you said in the beginning, right? It's very sad, right? That I'm sure a good majority percentage, like you said, I don't know the number off the top of my head, of molesters got molested, right?
Hmm.
So we in a cycle of people who got touched on. And a lot of it happened when they were little. It's really sad. I literally actually feel bad, right? Obviously, it's sick, and I don't agree with anything they did. Like you said, if it happened to you, it's not okay to do to somebody else. But it's really sad when you gotta look at things from a different perspective. Their brain is literally messed up. These things happen when they were so young. Psychological effects. They think that it's okay to do onto them as it was done onto them. That's how they think. They like, oh, this is okay. It was done to me at this age. It's what I'm supposed to. A lot of them. I am not making an excuse for them. I'm simply telling people. It's sad. It is sad that people who is touching people got touched on, and just the cycle just continues. Like that's really fucked up. And it's just some of the response, some of the problems is, come from some of the parents. They bring any type of people around their kids.
Hmm.
They're letting anybody watch their children. Some parents know that their kids is being fucking touched by their partner and don't care. It's so much fucking shit. leaving them at a family member house, knowing that that family member is a rapist, and don't say nothing. Letting your fucking son or daughter around these people and don't say nothing, knowing what the fuck is gonna happen. That's the fucking problem, right? That's when you need to attack the abuser and those people as well. For some reason, those people always get fucking left out of the conversation. Why?
Yeah.
That's the fucking problem. They allowing this shit to happen. It's sick, man. It's sick. And the kids don't say
Yeah, then
nothing, and they all grow up
they'll
fucked
do
up.
they'll do a fucking movie or a documentary talking about I didn't know what to do.
I didn't know what to do and start crying and shit. Holy fuck, man.
Yeah, and I'm not
Like,
judging because sometimes people get fucking stuck in ugly situations, but like stopping, preventing it, knowing if it's going on, not bringing, not bringing it in a silver platter,
mm,
like as a parent, like as a father, I go through that shit every fucking day.
yeah,
It's, I become this fucking Navy SEAL in my mind,
hmm
like it's scary. The world is fucking scary.
yeah,
A lot of things people think that it's become now than ever is just there's more cameras. The
hmm
world's always been a sick shit. There's people feeding their egos or man-made religion trying to control people and manipulate their ways. Like it's scary,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Uh w- you're very informative. Like what do you do to stay informed and provide this information to the public?
I mean, like I said, I've been sitting back assessing things for a long time. Uh, so when that happens, you kind of learn a little bit, uh, listening as well. You meet people, you listen. Sometimes you know when somebody's talking bullshit, but for the
Yeah.
good majority of the time, it's people spitting stuff at you that they read. That's why it's so important that you listen. People read so much. They're reciting a whole article. They're reciting an entire book to you. You listen and you learn, right? You also learn from yourself as well. And one of the biggest things in my life that really changed a lot is my name. My name is Seven Alkaline. My name is Seven Alkaline because I've been on the alkaline diet, I think for around probably 7 years now. So you try to keep your body at a pH of 7 or higher. You only eat alkaline foods. I haven't had meat in 7 years, I believe. I gave everything up. The soda, the fast food, candy. Once you do that, obviously they poison damn near probably all our food, but I try my best. But once you get a good amount of poison out your body, you know, your body reaches another spiritual level. Your mind reaches another spiritual level. It's like you on a different level of understanding things, seeing things differently, and able to process information, right? Because you are what you eat at the end of the day. If you eating so much unhealthy stuff, it starts to clog your thoughts, uh, clog your process of understanding things. So I really had to, yeah, I did that really young. So I was on a lot of stuff really young. You don't understand. My mind has been moved so fast. I'm constantly trying to think of solutions. I was thinking of so many things on a bigger scale, right? That was the problem. My head every day, I was like I was losing myself in my own mind. You don't understand. I'm trying to figure out how to fix things on a global level. And I just gotta calm down. Right? I gotta calm my body down, my spirit, my mind. You gotta relax. You can't, you can't, you can't build a building and you don't even have the foundation done yet, right? It just doesn't work like that. How are you gonna want to fix the top of the building and the bottom of the building is not made yet? So I'm worrying about issues that's not even in my control. I had to reassess myself and calm down, get small, I need to worry about local, and then I need to, grow from there. Why am I worrying about fixing this so far from me? And I probably know somebody on my block that's messed up. That don't make no sense. How? You know,
How's your how's
how?
you how's your perception on time? Do you feel that like time is running out?
Absolutely. It scares me every day. And
Jesus
I don't
Christ.
know. Something, I don't even want to sound crazy. Something with time is not right. First of all, I
Yeah, I
honestly,
know.
genuinely feel like time is moving faster. I don't have the answers. I don't know. Something is not right. My body's telling me it's not right. Something with time lately is really not the same. I don't know what it is. I sound crazy. I'm for sure that this ain't the same 24 hours that it was a couple years ago. I'm for sure. I don't know how, but I think about how time is running out every day. People keep telling you, "Oh man, you young, you young, you young." I've been hearing that for how many years, and I'm already 23 years old now. And every time they
Yeah,
say that to me, it's like another 5 years passes.
you remind me of a young of my young self, just a little bit more successful version than me.
Ah man,
You know,
I'm a regular guy, man.
there's a quote, man, I can't remember what it said. It's like there's nothing like being 20 a man in 20 nothing like being a man at 25 feeling like time is running out. It's
I feel
very
like time's
common.
running out.
Yeah, it's very common. Happened to me. The way you think happened to me. It doesn't happen to a lot. It happens to thinkers. It happens to deep thinkers,
Mhm.
not just anybody. You see different. It's like the way I explain it is like a playing a chess game, but on a larger scale. When like each step you make, you could pinpoint what avenue the outcome is. It's almost like you're predicting it,
Yeah.
and at least for me, the way shit for me, it stopped when I realized I don't want to control anything. I don't want to control anything. Uh, in my personal life, I draw a very dusty, wiggly line, right? And it could be I could have drawn it very descriptive and where it's visible, but I drew a very blurry line because it's like, do you want to cross over? If you cross, it's blurred for a reason because like people like us, it's like I want you to cross over and I want you to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just put it in God's hands and let it work for you, which I've done plenty of times.
Hmm.
But once I feel like I don't want to control anything because then I become like them.
Hmm.
And the role that I have envisioned, or I've always visioned, which I'm envisioning creating and building as I go, has taken a a toll and taken its time. It's because nothing happens overnight.
Yeah.
And if you want a legacy to last, you build that motherfucker brick by brick.
Yeah.
It's not a quick scheme. It's not take advantage. You're fake it till you make it. It's you have value in yourself. You understand your values. You accept your values, and you can't let no one cross those values because if not, you lose yourself. I already lost myself. This world. It's very like I grew up in Puerto Rico, right? So like the way I can describe it is like growing up in Puerto Rico was very, if not extremely challenging for me because everything was physical.
Hmm.
I didn't have to think I had to survive. Here, it's a different game in America. They'll break your mind, and if they break your mind, they don't worry about the body. They'll use you as a mule, carry your bullshit around,
Hmm.
And as in my 20s before I got married, you know, that's what it started doing for me. I started falling in these useless relationships and doing these useless thing, hanging out with people that were, you know, hope one day we'll get their shit together, but not at that time, right? And I lost time. Now I'm trying to make up time. And now I'm trying to make up time, and we're like, and my son, and we got this diagnosis, and I'm married, and I'm a father, and I got all this shit on my back. I gotta, make more money. I gotta do all this shit. Until one point, I said, "Fuck it. No matter how much money you got, the bills are gonna come.
Hmm.
No matter you work at a job that treats you like shit. What's the worst they can fire you?
Yeah.
It's gonna take you a while, if not quicker. Get another job. You get another job. It's the same fucking dirty cycle. So why not start building something
Yeah.
meaningful?
Yeah.
So eventually you'll get to that point and you'll be okay.
Hmm.
And because you're like, for me, like you're 23, and look how so much you have fucking done.
Yeah.
I'm fucking 36. It took me, I want to say, it took me being a dad, being married, and my wife constantly trying to inspire me to find something I do because I fucking hate working for people. I hate I hate dealing with people. I hate fucking people in general.
Hmm.
But there's a side of me that like I understand the reason I hate people is because I know how to be bad.
Hmm.
You know, to be bad, to hate, to be that's easy, but to be a good person, be kind, that's difficult. And now that I'm adult, it's more manageable. So like, if it's not for me, I could walk away. But I'd rather to leave, a different thing than something that dirty cycle that I already know.
Yeah.
And you're doing an incredible job. Like, look at how much you have done.
Yeah.
You still have more to come. And you have a son, right? You said you have a kid,
Yeah.
Matt. And you still have more to come. You're only 23. You have dad. He's gonna watch you build yourself up.
Hmm.
And for me, my son, even though he's autistic, he watches me. So it doesn't matter how I go, how I feel. I gotta be stepping right.
Yeah.
You know. So time is a funny thing, but you're all right. Time is not the same as fucking last year.
Yeah. I promised myself though, right? I always made a promise to myself when I was very young. I speak about a lot of stuff on social media, right? We all know that, but there's certain things like I don't want to sound like I'm saying I'm too smart for people. That's not what I'm saying. But there's certain things, people may not ready to process yet, right?
Mm,
So it's like
speak about it.
I gotta say, I have to say a lot of bullshit sometimes, my content, I make funny, I'm talking bullshit, but it's sometimes people just want to hear bullshit. So that's what I put out. Something you don't want to overload, right?
Yeah,
People don't want to overload of information, serious shit. I can't even speak on that,
dude, I
and
feel that.
I'm ready to, it's my, I'm fire, right? I'm
Yeah,
straight fire. I made a promise to God and myself. Um, if I ever get the smallest amount of, if you want to say influence, people watching, paying attention, I'm gonna slowly erupt and just let this information overload out and do. That's why as soon as I got the smallest bit of influence or views, whatever you want to say, I took advantage of it and did a food drive for people. I get nothing out of that. Nothing out of that. People don't understand. I don't get paid. I don't get money. I don't get a day off work for that shit. Nothing. The only thing I get out of that, it feels good out of my heart, and I promised myself I would do it. And not to jump off what we speaking about, but
no, no,
that just goes to show. I have 7,600 followers. I did that with way less. And we have so many wealthy people who don't do shit. So many people with so much influence who don't do shit. And I
Mm.
promise myself, if I get the smallest bit of it, watch how much I'm gonna do for people. The smallest bit. And if I
See,
could
look at
do
that.
it on this small of a scale,
Yeah,
imagine what people
I
could do
love
in
that.
just a little bit more.
See, like that's what I love about you. Like, see, like I had a conversation like with ChatGPT right this morning. Like, why can't I, capitalize? It told me like because that you have to put what you're doing and then do what you're doing and then to survive you do what other people are doing.
Mhm.
Following trends, whatever, and all that shit. So like once you have you start making revenue on these platforms, right? That's when you start investing, going hard on what you really want to do, because that's essentially like you got to get paid to grow, right? And I can't do that. Like
Mhm.
that's what like you like I I don't want to be an influencer, bro. Like this is
Yeah,
where you're better than me. You're really doing it than me. I don't want to do none of that shit.
yeah,
Since a child, I was an old man. I'm still an old man. Like I want to listen. I want to walk in the shadows and come to people who done wrong when they don't see me.
yeah,
Like that's what I want.
yeah,
I want fucking David be want to be like bigger than fucking David Letterman on Netflix or fucking interview Obama.
yeah.
You feel me? Like I all that shit. Like I've had 10,000 subscribers, so
Mhm.
followers on Instagram. I went viral. Like I said, once I realized I don't want control, I didn't. I stopped fucking caring.
Yeah,
Because like I know what I want. I want to hit. I want to break. We don't. Everything you said and that's far. Like I've had people talk to me like that too.
mhm,
I have people reach out and tell me,
mhm,
and it's anger, it's frustration. For you, it's like you don't want to hear that shit for me in your head, right? But you don't say it. For me, it's like I have to hold within everything in me not to go out and replicate that same pain on other, because that's the pain that's the pain they cause, right? Just because my life to this far, I live in a world of chaos and I function in a better chaos. But sometimes you gotta play that shit like chess.
yeah. Mhm.
And this is why like, I gravitated to what you've been doing thus far, because how to play the game, and you will be very successful, and you will be like you'll fucking you'll change people's lives for the better. That promise you made, you will overcome that shit. You will make it.
Mhm.
You know, but you gotta play the game. And my life has been. I don't want to play no fucking games no more. You feel me? I
Yeah.
want to break this shit already. So I feel you 100%, brother.
And I feel you as well. And I don't want to play the game either. Trust me, I don't. And no, I'm already preparing for all. I'm gonna get a lot of hate probably one day. That's what comes with this shit. Then the next day I'll be loved, and then one day I'll be forgotten about. That's how the game goes. I don't want to play the game. I just want to help people out. I just want to do what I gotta do for my people. But unfortunately, at some point, you have to know how to properly move, how to
Yeah.
properly say certain things to certain people. It's a lot, people can't process that, or people don't want to hear it. Like politicians, for example.
Mm,
I
speak
can't
on it.
I can't stand them. I don't like none of them and I don't trust none of them. I told y'all that. I already told y'all. I just say you got to pick your favorite one. That's it. You don't got to believe nothing they say, but you're going to have to pick your favorite one. But well, with politicians, right? I genuinely do believe that there are some politicians who aren't corrupt, but they know, they may want to help their people, but they know they have to play the game or had to. Things are slowly starting to change, but they had to play the game.
Yeah.
And in order to help you, they got to do something for this person. Because if they don't do nothing for this person, they can't get what they need to help you.
Mm.
People don't know that. But then I think what happens is some of those people, that's when they get corrupt because that's when the bribery comes and the money comes. But unfortunately, some people have to do things they don't want to do things they do want to do. When I was younger, I remember I wanted to be a rapper. My dad like, yo, that's cool. How you gonna fund it? How the fuck are you gonna record? You gotta do what you don't want to do what you do want to do. That's what's gonna fund it. That's what's gonna fuel it. Things like that, right? And that's things that's a part of game sometimes. You
Mm.
think I want to sit and do certain shit that I have to do? Fuck no. Welcome to the game. Welcome to the game. And in this game, like I said before, a lot of people, I'm all over the place. Oh God. But everything kind of ties into each other. Excuse my brain. I feel like I got AD, whatever it's called. Like I'm all over the place. But yeah, this kind of ties into it. People gotta understand that you gotta, some people have to do things they don't want to do things they do want to do.
Yeah.
And for certain people like me, like I was saying before, and also for people who reach out to me to ask me about what it's like being 7 out inclined and they want to do content, you have to understand, right? I'm sorry to break news to everybody. People don't give a fuck about you.
Mm.
Perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine, right? People don't give a fuck about me. It's perfectly fine. Some people do, some people don't, right? When I started, I was posting stuff about myself. Nobody gives a fuck about me. So why would they care about the stuff that I'm talking about myself? Who the fuck is this guy? I got bills to pay. I don't know this motherfucker. I got kids. I'm going to work. I'm about to go use the bathroom and take a shit. I'm about to go eat later. This guy's a fucking nobody talking about his own life. What I did was started talking about things that you may know about. You know about the Twin Towers, right? Right. Do you know who I am? No, you don't fucking know who I am. I start talking about the Twin Towers. Now you interested. Not because of me, but it's somebody talking about something that you know about. Now I'm interested. Okay. Oh, he's a little funny with it. Okay. Next video, talk about myself. Who the fuck is this guy? I mean, he talked about the Twin Towers. I know about that, but I still don't give a fuck about this guy. All right, now I'm gonna talk about the Empire State Building. Oh, this guy talk about the Twin Tower. I know the Empire State Building. I drive past that every day. I drive past that every day. Let me hear what the fuck he's saying. Oh, this guy really is funny. Next video, you talk about yourself. I still don't give a fuck about him, but I'll listen. You know, I like what he had to say about the Empire State Building and the Twin Towers because I drive past that at work every day. Okay. You know, that slowly happens. And then people may still not care about you. Some people do, but that's where a little bit of power comes, right?
Mm.
Because now they start caring about things that you choose to speak about, not only things that resonates with them. That's where you develop an ear. Now people are listening to you. I don't have to only speak about things that you know about, that you see, that you experience. Because you heard me talk about it so much, you start building trust in me. You start building the connection with me. You start liking what I'm talking about. I have your ear. And I say all of that, you know, I'm a fucking talker, I told you, to say when you have ears, you have a little bit of power. And whenever you have a little bit of power, even on a minute level, back to what I said, it's gonna people who like you, people who want to use it, and people who are afraid of you. So when you're doing this stuff, you always have to keep those three things in mind. So many people tried to use me. You play chess though. Act neutral, act cool, even though you know what the fuck it is. Just let it go. You don't go attack, nor do you go join. Play neutral. and you have the people that's gonna keep you around because they're fucking afraid of you. They're fucking afraid of you. They're afraid of you that if you may say something about them one day, it could hurt them bad. And then you have the people who's watching that are like you. I mean, it's all just so crazy to think about that on a minute level. I am not big creator at all. I'm not a big creator. I'm just a local creator. When you keep throwing shit in people's face, especially local, they start to know who you are. It's like a fucking dog that keeps shitting on your lawn or by your house. You start to know the fucking dog because it's the same motherfucking dog that keeps shitting. They start to know who you are. And it's just crazy on how much impact, like I said before, you can do on a minute level. So why not use it? You get what I'm saying? Use it for the betterment of people. At least that's how I feel, because I know that's where my heart is. And I
Hmm.
always know what I wanted to do. What the fuck? I could go talk bullshit and then help people out at the same time. I don't have no problem with that. But it will get to a point where I'm ready to, which I'm a bit fearful, expand on what I'm saying. And I don't know if everybody's ready for that kind of stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like when do I put that in there? When do I expand? Because I'm saying stuff that's here, but I'm already up here. I'm not trying to sound smart. I don't give a fuck about all the smart talk, but on some real shit. And I can't, you know?
Hmm.
But certain people know I can go there. They're a little afraid of that. But you also got to know when to play stupid a little bit. That's part of the game. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to go in a room and having to play like that. But if you act like that, sometimes people have to act on that fear because they see how much of a potential threat you are. You could be fair to the point where people may help you with stuff because they want to be on your good side. And then you could be fair to a point where you just have to be fucking destroyed. You get what I'm saying? And all of that shit comes with this. 7,600 fucking followers. That's it. And that comes with it. And that just makes me think about people who are so much fucking bigger, but don't even do shit. And then I understand at the same time because they can be destroyed the next day with the power that they have. It's just really interesting, man.
I mean,
Yes.
power is meant to be used, right? It's how you use it.
Yeah, it's how you use it and don't get a big head. You cannot get a
Yeah.
big head. I don't have a big head at all. And I will never have a big head. And I hope if I ever do get a big head, which will never happen, I know can never happen, I get fucking checked for that shit by a close loved one. Fucking I don't care. Check me because they say at a point all true power corrupts. Right?
Yeah.
I don't I would hope that's not true. I would hope that's not true, but
Yeah.
everybody say it's true. I would want to be checked if I ever grew because that's just not in me. Like I can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of motherfucker to walk around and think I'm better than you. I can't do that shit. I can't.
Yeah.
I just fucking can't.
What's the quote says? What to kill a monster, you must become a monster of hopes. You're not the monster, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, man.
it's difficult in this day and age because people will put you in predicament to hype you because you
Mhm.
got that shit. You know, you said that shit. You know, not knowing the ramification of what you say or
Yeah.
what you do. You know, and that's why I don't want. That's why, like, I don't play the game.
Mhm.
I do whatever the fuck I want to. It's important to educate people who you are,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like Hollywood. Hollywood are a bunch of fucked up people that, you know, in front of a camera act perfect, but they're not.
Mhm.
And as soon as their life fucking comes in, shambles and shit, it's like he was really like that. So like, I think what's good about like one's building or whoever's building, start educating the people who the fuck they're as of now.
Mhm.
There's certain people that are not gonna get canceled. Because there's no such things as being canceled because they never played that game. It took them a while to get there.
Mhm.
But like being in politics, you gotta kiss babies, right? Even the ugly ones.
Mhm.
That's what they say, right? Like I said, I grew up in Puerto Rico, and I grew up in this very privileged to be in a big house. My grandfather and my grandmother worked their ass off to build that house, but we didn't have a lot. At a certain point, we didn't have a lot. They're living off retirement, and where I lived at was a shithole. And the reason that I became to understand why where I lived in my barrio wasn't getting enough support. So like we would have water breakage for like weeks, if not months, or without light and water for months. And
Mhm.
it's because where I lived at, there's a thing called Popular and PNP. It's like Populars are red, and PNP are blue, right? Like reds are like more for Puerto Rico. The PNPs are more like they're blue, they're more like federal, making the country a state. And where I lived at, they were blue.
Yeah.
So the red never came and fixed anything because they knew when it came election they would never win in that town.
Mhm.
And I don't know. It's not difficult to play that game. It's an easy game.
Yeah.
But it's just at some point you just stop taking shit.
Yeah.
And you gotta start letting motherfuckers know who the fuck they are because this is real life.
Yeah.
What we're going through, especially the changes in Jersey City, they fucking had money to fucking build a useless park right there up the block in Ocean,
Mhm.
right? And it's always fucking closed.
Mhm.
But they can use that money to help the community.
Yeah.
There's a reason I keep complaining, and we're like Martin Luther King Street, you know, the name of somebody who actually did something in black culture and helped the people
Mhm.
is always full of fucking crackheads.
Yeah.
So like they could have used that money for so many things,
Yeah.
and now Jersey City's in fucking debt.
Yeah. It's yeah. It's sad. It's sad. That was one of my, that's one of the biggest things I've been thinking about my whole life. Like, how do I, especially I'm black. How the hell do I get black people, out of the situations that they in? And one of the situations, we see is in Jersey City. Greenville is a predominantly African American neighborhood, of course. Very soon it won't be. A lot of African Americans in Jersey City used to live downtown. Puerto Ricans and African Americans.
Hmm.
And it was a push and a push. And you always see in America that they push black people always further south, right?
Hmm.
And it's just like you say, like the crackhead things. And then like everything just has a history to it. Then that goes back to the crack epidemic, where, I'm trying not to, the people who's supposed to be responsible for us allowed that to happen because it was a benefit, a financial benefit. People, I'm trying not to say anything too crazy, but this is the United States of America. All the stuff we do, y'all think people don't know what's coming through the water? You're very mistaken. It's either allowed because you're getting paid off of it, or you're not getting paid off of it, so it's not coming through. Simple as that. Uh, Drugs, unfortunately, has a very huge market in the United States of America, and we live here, and our government makes a nice, good chunk of change off that.
What's the excuse they always say? They let it pass because they want to see the bigger fish and catch the bigger fish,
hmm They're getting
right?
they get in a bag. They get in a bag. You know, and president allowed it to come in African American neighborhoods to do what it's doing now, right? And then over here, I spoke about in my videos how you got, liquor stores, and like I've never seen that many liquor stores in that short of a span. It's fucking ridiculous. Like it's crazy. How is there liquors two on one block?
No, a
What the
liquor store and a
fuck?
drugstore,
Yes, on the
right?
same block, on the same block, and you put all that around everybody. And it's funny because poverty is always I forgot how to say it, but poverty is always close by when when downtown, the area like downtown is going on. You're always gonna have poverty nearby because that's your labor force. That's where you pay for cheap labor. That's what we are to people, cheap labor, right? And what comes with that is a lot of the shit that's here. They have alcohol stores everywhere, the drugs that the government allowed to come in our neighborhoods, the redlining that they did, not allowing us to get loans because we're a predominantly African American location. They've done that to us all over the country. Then you have they allowed, this is crazy. I mean, I spoke about it in the video, off of civil rights, which is crazy, which is here from black blood. They allowed immigrants to come over and get businesses in African American neighborhoods, the same African American neighborhoods that they didn't allow African Americans to open business in because of redlining. And you know why they allowed them to do that? Because they didn't even allow them in white neighborhoods. They said, get the fuck out of here. You could go build your businesses, take theirs. You know what? A lot of them brought over liquor stores all over and certain food spots. And what did I say to you before? Remember, you are what you eat, right? So when you got the government flooding our neighborhoods with drugs, allowing other people to come and open businesses that does not benefit us and only literally kills us, alcohol, and then you got the food combination with no nutrition, which completely destroy the body, the spirit, and the mind because of all of the poison and pus, mucus, all of the nasty shit inside of that, all of that red meat that we're not even supposed to be digesting, and you mix that together, and then on top, it's just a lot, man. But I can't,
Doesn't it
I
doesn't
can't speak about that to
yeah.
people. I speak about it a little bit, but not the way I want to. That's something I would like to. I can't, you know what I'm saying?
It's hard, man, because these platforms have become censored. Even when
Yeah.
they were caught censoring truth,
Hmm.
they still, so like it's hard. That's what like, every I don't do it anymore, but the first 4 years of me doing this, I try to put in uh I would do these Zoom meetings and provide like business ideas to create our own platforms with future or current creators. But sometimes people don't see the vision.
Yeah.
People they just see what they're doing, and that's fine because to build something, not everyone can be doing the same thing.
Hmm.
They saw it more about like they saw more about like how they're gonna make money rather than use what they're doing, to tribute to build something.
Yeah.
So it's hard, it's hard, but one day we will not be censored.
Yeah.
Just keep doing what you're doing, and you can never hide from the truth.
Yeah.
You can hide from facts, but even that will turn at some point it'll come out to light.
Yeah.
Just keep fucking doing what you're doing. Connect with the city. If you
Hmm.
haven't, have you ever met Cheese
Probably. Uh,
Redemption?
I'm not. I'm like. I'm not gonna lie to you. it got to a point where like I'm bad on names. Like within a
Got it.
year,
Check
I've
out,
met so many people. It's not funny. That
check
shit is
out.
ridiculous.
Shout out to Cheese 201 on Instagram. Cheese 201.
Mm,
Juan Vasquez. He has a store in Jersey City called Redemption.
okay.
Uh, you ever want to speak truth and find information? Not information, but like what's happening in the streets.
Mhm.
That man has been there since nearly the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, he was running. He was running for mayor. I call him the people's mayor. Um, then I think he dropped out and he pledged for somebody. I can't remember his name, but basically pledged for another person,
Mhm.
like support another person. But he's in the Black and Hispanic community. He's someone of value,
Yeah.
someone that can also just spread your. He's having comments on your comments. You know,
Mhm.
he's in your comments, so he's somebody that can help you reach your purpose.
Mhm.
And he's a respectful, genuine person. He's an artist, incredible person. I can't speak more nice things about him.
Yeah.
I had him on the show like not too long ago. Um, but yeah, man, I'm proud of what you're doing. Keep doing it. Um, I think you got a game plan.
Yeah.
You know, you got a game plan. Keep executing it, and you know your goal of changing people's lives will come from the better, man. God
Yeah.
bless you. God bless your family. And you know, fucking keep doing what you're doing, man. Very proud of you.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. God bless yours and you as well. Man,
Man, easy. Before we go, please tell the people they can find you at.
man, everybody check out my Instagram, the number 7 Alkaline with 2 underscores, and on Twitch, spelled out the word and then Alkaline. Tune into this. I had a lot of fun. I know I was going to have a lot of fun. And that was just I was yapping. I'm sorry. I'm a fucking yapper, bro. But it's good to talk. I enjoy podcasts because especially I forgot we was on the podcast. And I think
Yeah,
that's the best part about it when we get in a genuine conversation. Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed talking, right? And I enjoyed listening to you as well. I really did. And
I
everything that you
appreciate you,
guys
brother.
said. Yeah.
And like, you know, the door's always open. You're welcome to come back. Just reach out. You got my IG, you got my email. I'll even text you my number. Um, you know, like I said, you want to talk about some shit, get shit out of your chest. You're welcome here. You know, we probably don't live that far from one another, honestly.
Yeah, we probably don't.
Yeah.
And
So,
and and, and also I want to work on some things with you and see what we could do about this for the kids in the school and the
yes,
situation.
yes,
I
yes.
don't listen. I'm new. I'm trying. A parent reached out to me, and I told her I'm gonna reach out to local leaders. I'm just working on like 30 fucking projects at once, so I'm gonna reach out to you about that and do what the fuck I can. Like I don't know, bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
I will do,
Yes.
bro. Please.
Jersey City, you need to stand up. You have one of the greats up and coming here. Show him some love, show him some respect. A lot of love and admiration on my part. Go follow him, go support him, go share his content, spread the word, especially if you're from Jersey City. Um, this is not common. I've been doing this for 5 years, even a award fucking winner of this podcast, and I can honestly say he's really doing some different things. So show him some love, also show him some respect. And before you judge, listen. You know, you cannot teach to be, you know, what he's doing. He's got to be born with it. Like I said, show him some love, support. Thank you once again for joining me. Make sure you go like and subscribe our YouTube channel. We have reached 16,000. We're continuing to grow. If you want to support us, just buy us a coffee. Link below in the description so that we may continue providing you these amazing guests, especially our local heroes like Alkaline here. And yeah, man, I'm out. Have a good night.